Side corners, Xander Lipsa chased after it, trying to guide it out. It's Joe Rice bringing it out. Rice not in the lineup last night, back in the lineup for Watertown tonight out of Prior Lake, Minnesota, his 29th appearance in the green. Reynolds chips it into the far side corner. The Shamrocks scored 3 first-period goals last night, unanswered, to take a 3-0 lead against the Bruins. It was a comeback for the black and gold. 2 first-period goals of their own, including a power play goal for Evan Malkasian. As we have our first Thrive Wellness icing here tonight. Heated arguments with head coach Steve Howard last night. Steve Howard was a bit frustrated, even led to a bench minor on the Bruins, which led to a 5-on-3 opportunity for Watertown, which the Bruins successfully killed as Melgren fighting off Masiewski's. Ryder Reynolds chases after the loose puck in his own end. That will be a Thrive Wellness icing on the Watertown Shamrocks. Kaiser had his last goal here at Riverside as well. No icing there. 4 minutes into this one, Melgren didn't get all of that bank, and it's turned over to the Shamrocks. Shot on net is saved by Axelson. Fighting for it, Joe Rice kicks it to his stick. Melgren along the end wall. It's taken away by Reynolds. A pile behind the net. Off the heel of Luke Malkasian and Eli Mickish, delayed offside, so the Bruins will hold the puck. Poked away from that was Reynolds, and it was taken away by Rylan Anaruk, who only has played 1 game here at Riverside Arena. Anaruk was out for a lot of the season with a concussion, but he's now playing in his 15th game for the Shamrocks. LaFear was there first. Bruins are sitting comfortably in second place now. Well, not comfortably, as Axelson makes that save, as Minot was victorious last night. He's in good spirits, and everything's okay. We don't have circle. Face-off won by Lorenza. Bynum couldn't get there quick enough as Sproul takes it away, looking shorthanded. The Shamrocks have not allowed a shorthanded goal this year, nor have they scored one. Bruins have allowed just 1 shorthanded goal against the North Iowa Bulls, as Luke Malkasian gets it up to Paddington. Center point Bynum. Down to Lorenza. He'll try to feed it lower to Paddington. Has it taken away, and Chartier will flip it out. Minute 33 left on the Chad Thomas Nordhaus Realty power play for too many men on the ice for the Shamrocks. Rink-wide feed to Luke Malkasian. He'll tap it back for Paddington. Back over to Lorenza. Bynum plays some catch. He'll take it back. Switches spots Malkasian. Wrister from the high slot. And that just skipped wide as the fans let out their O's, knowing how close that was. Through the legs of Samuelson over to Bynum. Bynum skates back towards the middle. Rink wide for Lorenza. Samuelson plays some catch. Up top, Bynum tic-tac-toe. Paddington fans on the follow-up. Lorenza holds. Wrist shot blocked. Back up to Malkasian, who keeps it in. Paddington looking. Has Luke Malkasian. Bynum calls for it on the center point, and it just gets under his stick and out of the zone. Couple of good chances here. I like what the Bruins are doing here with their power play. Kind of forming that diamond. It's off the rink. Pink season. We see a lot of pink here tonight. Fans starting to buy some of the Bruins pink beanies that are available here at the merchandise stand or at the Bruins front office. 10:59 left to go here in the opening period. Lang to his right to Reynolds. Wrist shot goes wide as the top right corner he was looking for. Lang fights off, couldn't quite keep it in. He upended LaFear. Tabletopped him, in fact. Shamrocks in the middle of a change. Lang will backhand it in deep with 10:38 left to go. You can see the aggressiveness that the Bruins are playing with. Now the Shamrocks, they've had that the last couple of games. Bruins came out a bit slow last night. You could really feel it. But now tonight, they've got a bit of a burst of energy. Delevka feeds it lower for Bartley back in their own end. Bartley to bring it out. Justin Bartley out of Chicago, Illinois. Just his 10th game high and deep off the glass. Sproul has his pass deflected into the Bruins end. Skipping in. That will be another Thrive Wellness icing, this time on the Shamrocks. 18th all-time. He's tied with Connor Millimak at 122, but tonight game 123. Another notable games played to watch. Alex Lorenza, as that's a Cobblestone Hotel puck out of play. Game 96 93, 94. Off the end wall, Noah Surgot. And a big hit from E.J. Paddington off the bench to Brant Doobie. Paddington takes it back. Up the left wing, Paddington still holds it, avoids the hit, still on it, tries to bank it off the backside of LaShaw. Paddington was holding strong there. Haven't seen a nice move like that from him in quite some time. Paddington's been strong with some of the assists. Now tries the quick hit on Justin Bartley. Two of them kind of just colliding and standing each other up. Both of them very similar size. Bartley 6'3", 187. Paddington 6'3", 205. The irresistible force meeting Boo there first. Still over a minute left to go on the power play. Malkasian misses on the poke check. Slowed down by Lund, or rather Samuelson. Now Lund holds. Lorenza fresh out on the ice, as is Riley. Bynum coming in as well. Lorenza over the blue line. Leaves it back for Paddington. He had overskated, has to correct. Bynum pushes it lower for Lorenza. Quickly gets it back. Center point, Malkasian waiting for it. Bynum instead passes it and plays some catch with Lorenza. Switching spots again. Drawn up play here for Malkasian. Down low. Lorenza tried the follow-up, but just overskated. 2-on-1 opportunity here, short-handed. Elliot Mickish. His shot goes off the top corner. Sniped it. Now the Bruins have the numbers. 3-2. Riley centers. Down low. The Minot series in which he had 2 goals, 2 assists. Off the skate of Boren. Icing waved off the deflection off of his skate. The Let's Go Bruins start to ring out here at Riverside. Ryder Reynolds slaps it to Paddington, who takes a hit for it. Shoveled ahead. Luke Malkasian, the wrist shot into the chest of LaShaw with just under a minute left here in the period. Visnapu clears it back out. Bynum quickly gets it through the legs of Lorenza. 15 seconds to go in the period. Fed along by Ginger, or rather that was Gardner. Out of the reach of Visnapu. He'll chase it down, and that should be it for the period. 0 seconds here tonight. Or rather, if he gets a point here tonight, he will then be at 94 points, tied with A.J. Reed. A minute in, it's still 0-0, so Lorenza, that's one thing we have to look for. Of course, his 100th point and 100th game slowly coming in. Currently, Lorenza is averaging just above 1 point a game. And actually, if you look all-time in points, in the top 15, there are only 6 different Bruins in the top 15 point scorers all-time who are averaging over a point a game. Lorenza, one of them. That just shows how Alex Lorenza is having not only just an incredible season, but an incredible career. A nice drive from Ryder Reynolds is closed out by LaShaw. The captain, so Alex Lorenza. Good indeed. Williams directing traffic as Ryder Reynolds crashes over to the far side. Dimitris Stalevka. Gardner, wrist shot, punched aside by Axelson, up into the netting for a Cobblestone Hotel puck. For convenience and style while supporting your favorite team, the Doubletree by Hilton. And Black and Gold Gala coming up on February the 6th. Paint the Ring Pink February the 8th, so make sure you book your stay soon before they're all sold out. Otherwise, you can again make your stop over at the Cobblestone Hotel, presenter of our puck out of play, as we just had. Spin and fire. LaShaw stifles that one. Lorenza off the wall down low for Luke Malkasian. Brought out softly. Lorenza with a quick tap. Slowed down at the red line and back behind Melgrim. And Bruins usually victorious when scoring 3 or more goals. In fact, of their games this year, last night was one of just 2 in which the Bruins scored 3. Paddington tries going over the stick side shoulder of LaShaw. Couldn't quite get it. Blockard saved there. Bynum. His tries his wrist shot. Blocked point blank by Chartier. Last night, one of 2 times. The other time, a shootout loss to the Minnesota Mallards in which the Bruins scored 3 goals. Delayed penalty on Austin. They went a clean first period, and now it'll be, I think I heard him say 18, so it'll be Luke Mulcazian. Nate Williams was the man blocking all the shots that time. Eagle definitely with a fire lit underneath him after last night's loss. Elbert chips it around. Special teams has not been the deciding factor tonight. It was 2 weeks ago. Delevka takes a hit on the boards. Now a scrum forming just north of the half wall. I guess if we're really being technical, that's the south end of the rink. Melgren off the end wall. Paddington fighting for it. Shoved aside Lorenzo. Delevka out to Gardner. Tries to center it behind Masiewski's. Delayed offside. Paddington has some time. Fired high into the back netting for a Cobblestone Hotel puck. Out of play with 8:14. Lorenzo was there first, but after last weekend, Lorenzo had fallen out of that spot. That cage, sometimes you take the hit, you still absorb it. Lund fans on a pass, tries feeding it out front. Mulcazian there to skip it away. And offside is trying to get sneaky was Brant Doobie. Can't win 4 straight. After last night's OT loss, you can still get 4 straight games with a point, however. See if they can reach that. Luke Mulcazian to his right, fighting through. Centers it. Somehow awkward angle. Is it in? They're saying no. The goal light went on. He is yelling at Coach Steve Howard is you can't push the goalie into the net, and that's what he's saying happened. We're not taking a look at it because it wasn't a matter of if the puck, the puck must have gone in, and what I'm thinking happened, so the puck must have gone in, and so what Sam Wilson's saying is that Paddington pushed the netminder in. Here's Masiewski's. His shot blocked by a diving Williams. So no replay because it wasn't a question of if it went in or not. Delevka, left circle, he holds on. Trying to regain the puck. It's up into the air. Everyone's tumbling over everyone, but the Shamrocks stay strong. Visnapu, wrist shot off the end wall. I'll give my recap of what I think after the action stops or slows down. As Mulcazian gets tripped up, looking for a call, no good. Flipped in deep. The fans had a bit of a problem with the officiating last night, and they're letting themselves be heard for the black and gold. He'll try to glove it down at the blue line. He's pushed aside by Rice. Bruins win scoring first, 18-2-1-0. This is the 22nd time this season in 34 contests where the Bruins have scored first. Ryder Reynolds picks it up at his own end. And we got a whistle in the period. Fans once again. Coming up at intermission, we'll have the final part of the Coaches Show from this week. Of course, you can watch every episode of the Coaches Show right away on YouTube every other Thursday. Travis Lafleur shoved aside by Melgren. Pass rink wide out of the reach of Luke Mulcazian. It was such a great cutback from Svantesson. He started having the breakaway, and Gus he's not the fastest skater. But he showed a little bit, and instead he used his maneuverability to get around, cut back to his right, was strong enough to hold the puck on. Quick wristed it, kind of flipped off the stick of LaShaw in net and flipped back over his shoulder and in. Albert, one-timer from Bynum, and it's LaShaw making the stop again. 1:10 left to go here in the second. Vital Cancer Research sponsor a seat today and help. Banked off the glass. Nate Williams collects it first. EJ Paddington to receive. Svantesson from Bynum. Here's up to Mulcazian, rolling puck, and it's LaShaw able to cover. That's your lone goal so far in this one. Yesterday, where the Bruins were trailing, and obviously it's hard to come back after trailing after 2. But when the Bruins lead, they have not lost yet. Just gives them that boost of confidence. It's come close. And some while leading after 2. Here's a quick turnover out in front. Not a good shot from it, however. That was Rylan Anaruk. Looking out, here is Surgott off the back skate of Rice. Back into the possession of the black and gold. It's Luke Mulcazian all alone. Cutting in towards the center. He's got 4 Shamrocks in all different directions. 4 Shamrocks like they're 4 clovers, like the logo for the Shamrocks, which again, it's not a Shamrock. Shamrocks have 5 cloves. What's on their logo is a 4-leaf clover. Bynum to Paddington, the wrist shot. It was underneath the armpit of LaShaw. Thought that biggest event of the year. Take it sell fast, so secure yours early. Still fighting for it. Lorenza as Mulcazian sets up to the Bruins side of him. Reynolds now, wrist shot off the stick of Visnapu, high and out of play for a Cobblestone Hotel puck out of play. A 3-2 lead in that contest. Bruins tying it up thanks to Luke Mulcazian. And then an overtime winner as that shot off the heel of a skater for another Cobblestone Hotel puck out of play. At regulation, EJ Paddington with a goal in that game. Reynolds fires one back into the netting once more. For Ashton, it was actually his first game without a point against the Shamrocks. The Bruins defenseman had joined the team in the series prior to their first time against Watertown. Actually had the assist on the game-tying goal. His first point back as a Bruin for Bynum was the E.J. Paddington game-tying goal. It was his first goal of the season, or first point of the season, I should say, for Bynum. And now, 8 games later, he's got 7 of them. Melgren can't knock it down. Back in his own end. He wheels up towards the red line. Flips it ahead, in deep, off the end wall. Bartley there. Paddington takes it away. Sproul returns the favor, takes the shove from Luke Mulcazian, who's looking a little slow. Can't tell if he's .com. Click under the tickets tab, the Bear Den drop down, and fill out that interest form, and we'll reach out to you. And fans, if you don't think that you can make it out this year but would be interested in hearing more, maybe be put on a wait list for next year, again, fill out that interest form or reach out to us. We'd love to have you out in the Bears Den. It's right there rink side. Great view of the game. Right up and personal to see that Gustav Svantesson shorthanded goal, 6th shorthanded goal of the season for the Bruins. Still behind the Northeast Generals, who have 9. But when you look at the Generals, or excuse me, it's the Northeast Generals, but I was looking at least penalized team. That's the Johnstown Tomahawks. Paddington, wrist shot high and in the netting. But the Generals, the reason they have so many 9 of their goals this year, shorthanded. That's pretty exciting. You always love to see by Bruiser. Trying to put some energy back into this crowd who was lit up by that goal from Svantesson. Lorenza takes it away. Paddington, wrist shot kick into the pads of LaShaw. Delevka behind his own net. Draped by Luke Mulcazian. Careful, LaFear, as Lorenzo is getting dangerous of a potential hook or trip. We're halfway through this final period. Rink wide for Lorenzo. Centers it towards Luke Mulcazian. No good. White Rabbit the other way. Gardner to his left. Has to slap it ahead off the glove of Gardner. Skipping puck into Axelson. And we'll have our fun. The fans feed the players feed the goals into the net, which then feeds the fans. It's one of those kind of self-preserving cycles, really. Cutting in on the backhand. Paddington able to make a nice stop. Losing a glove and then losing a mask was Carl Axelson. Heck, we saw Jack Solomon. Deposits of $200 can be made by Monday by calling 507-434-4978. As their jerseys are going fast, though, fans. We've got about 15 already sponsored. Let's try and see if we can get a few more sponsored. Office will be closed tomorrow, so if you need to email somebody to let them know that you'd like that jersey reserved, you can email david@austinbruins.com or peter@austinbruins.com, and we'll give you a call on Monday. Luke Mulcazian has it in his own end. Alex Lorenza feeds it ahead. Talked about the temperature outside, and I mean, last time Bruins were in Watertown, as here's Paddington. Mulcazian looking, shot off the stick, and wow! Where did that one go? And just a bit off of his stick with the speed. We'll keep a close eye on the Shamrocks net to see when Phil LaShaw might be pulled out by head coach Casey Curley. And offside, second period. Right now it's the decider. White Rabbit, backhands, and it's out as Lipset is without a helmet. Lipset got into a scrum, so he heads to the bench. .216, here comes Sproul to his right, Chartier. Chartier tries to center it, no good. Bruins in their own end and finally get it out. Again, LaShaw